What's something people take too lightly but should nt? AskReddit, independent_topic 270. Blood pressure. In the past few years I've learned that a number of people in my life just walk around day to day, close to stroking out, and don't bother going to the doctor about it. Limbo Dog. 4002. Sleep. People often take sleep too lightly, thinking they can get by on just a few hours. Ecstatic_cancel 5244. 8236. Hearing protection in clubs and concerts. Shawnee, 5330. Water. More specifically flowing water with currents. So many people underestimate the power of a flow. Jim_Leahy 10. 1985. Driving. It astonishes me how casually so many take operating a machine capable of causing a great deal of harm. Talibab. 4507. Enabled body. Mine is FD up. I would give anything for it not to be. Aaron Renner 54, 582. Holding friends and family accountable for their words and actions. A lot of people like to think they would act reasonably and morally when their close relationships do terrible things, but they often don't. Usually they create excuses for the behavior and learn to adapt around it. Treebeard 313. 1117. Elections, especially at the local level. A Wilder 181, 1427. What's your best response to "fuck you"? AskReddit, Josh Soros. Here, at this hour? Limbo Dog, 2180. Fuck me yourself, you coward. SpiderCop_NYPD_Arkend, 12905. Get in line, Badax 13, 1501. Depends on the person, maybe later is the go-to though. Finis Amoris, 3109. Dinner first buddy. Dinner first, Snackroats, 2246. No thanks. This evening has been disappointing enough. Tall_twos_72, 3388. You wouldn't like it. I'd just lay there and laugh at you. Narcissus Cloud, 601. I would fuck me. Stinky_butt_uncle, 1131. Which celebrity do you think has a lot of skeletons in their closet? AskReddit, Game Day Believer. Anyone who was or is a Scientologist. I read Leah Remini's book. Holy cow. Quit 319908, 1395. Sean Combs. XA0. I know he's in trouble for a thing, but I think it's just the tip of the iceberg. Lazarus King. 8032. Jim Bob Duggar. IA 2022, 2805. Jared Leto. Matt Evil 8419, 6278. Chris Jenner, Proud Werewolf 3095, 2486. I think Marilyn Manson, Helena Bonham Carter, and Tim Burton each have at least one full human skeleton in their respective closets. Dubig 2159, 186. Professional athletes. We hear about them getting in trouble all the time, but there's so much that never sees the light of day. Aaron Hernandez is one example. He fell in drafts because the general public thought he had issues with pot. Find way later that the dude was a raging sociopath. BAF_dog82. 2968. Tom Cruise, The Bad Hedgehog 5, 4323. How has taking a break ever benefited a relationship? AskReddit, Petty People's Sarcasm. I can imagine it being helpful if you're being too codependent or need space because you're not getting along. But it only works if you both agree to not see other people and stick to it. Off-brand Barbie. 3142. It gave me time to think about how I had grown during our relationship. And how she uplifted me and made me want to be a better person. It gave her time to sleep with my roommate. **42 16,079. I was dating my girlfriend for about 2 years and we ended up just kinda drifting apart. We stopped hanging out, making plans, etc. We ended up breaking up, but it was one of those easygoing no hard feelings breakups. About 3 months later, she messaged me and we made plans to hang out just as friends and catch up. We realized that our relationship stagnation was due to a lack of taking risks, exploring hobbies and interests, and basically being boring people. For the last 6 months of our relationship, we ended up getting back together, exploring new hobbies, going on trips, and really opening up. That was 3 years ago now, and we were married a couple months back. We talk about the reasons we drifted apart in the first place and try to support each other's goals and desires. These last 3 years have been the best of my life, and it may never have happened had we not taken a break and reevaluated where our lives were heading. Gliese 2. 3837. In my personal experience, a break is two people taking a time out so they can focus and work on their sick burns for the future. Argument. Old_bodybuilder_3320. 1854. Love can have real shitty timing. The world is full of stories of people meeting up after decades and finally being in the right place in their lives for the relationship to work. Alerka Yuni Bay. 1031. I read an article about a couple that was married for 72 years. They had 2 breaks in the relationship that lasted a couple years each. So IDK. It works sometimes, I guess. You just have to have a long horizon. Bill Salson. 288. I have 2 friends that successfully took breaks. First case, he cheated on her. She found out. They broke up and were on the verge of divorce, but realized neither wanted that. Much counseling and hard discussions later, they are happily back together. Second case, he was lazy. She wanted more. They took a break and he got religion. He's working properly hard on his career and around the house. They have a kid now and he's a good and involved father. Both cases are in the 5-year or more bucket since getting back together. Both cases required counseling to be successful. Fly Guy 42. 103. Me and my husband separated with no intention of getting back together. Sold the house and everything. Well, I started addressing my shit with communication. He started addressing his shit, including going for therapy for treatment, including finally getting his mental illness diagnosed. We ended up back together after a year. Started out by dating again and eventually moving back in together. We are both much healthier people because of the break. It gave us time to self-reflect and grow. We are both stronger individually and as a couple now, and that's carried on many years later. Rita Book 84. 46. 86.